Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League French Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. I am Tim, finally making my return here at the Invictus Racing League after 2 weeks away, and with me is the guy that pretty much picked up the tab, Malc. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, mate. I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine and ready to see 9 laps of racing and then 27 laps of racing, because I always have to remind myself we have 2 races now.
Yes, we have. We've got 2 races, obviously, with the sprint and also for the feature race. And it's been some classic races, to be fair, with the last 2 races that you missed out, to be fair. But I won't give you that surprise, shall we say. We're looking forward to the French Grand Prix. I cannot wait for it tonight because I think we're going to have a little bit of a shock, shall we say, tonight.
Perhaps. I mean, one of the races, they were already spoiled for me, though, Malc. Someone told me that they won. So you're not going to get one over on me like that.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. I tried on that one, to be fair. But we are at the French Grand Prix. Last night, F3 was absolutely manic. Absolutely manic. Especially if you watch the last 10 laps. Mainly the last 10 laps. It was extraordinary. It was raining. But then at the same time, there was loads of crashes. There was some issues with the safety car as well. So we have to watch out for that as well. But hopefully the guys will be up for it. And I cannot wait for it tonight. I really cannot wait for it. Hello, guys. How you doing? Good evening, Spud. How you doing? And Tarak, how you doing? I hope you guys are going well. But yeah, we're looking forward to tonight because I just can't wait. I just hope we're going to have another explosive moment of. I'm hoping for the F3, but you need to watch it, Tim. You need to watch it back because it was a manic race.
So, Malc, one thing that I actually just thought of is this is potentially Invictus Racing League's final visit to the Circuit Power Card for the French Grand Prix, at least for the foreseeable future, considering that this track was actually taken off of the Formula One schedule for next season. Now, of course, I know that Invictus is going to have another season or so before the next installment of the F1 games, but even still, the schedules aren't set yet, so it has yet to be determined if we'll come back to this circuit, right?
It's very difficult, really, because we're just wondering if it just depends, really, of like everything all set up, really. So it's just so much stuff that happens. We'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen so far, but we'll have to wait and see how everything goes. Reed says hello, everyone. He says I've had to watch back a lot of it, Malc, absolutely, for that F3 race last night. Tarak has just got himself lost in the garage, so hopefully he'll get himself back into the car before we start the sprint race. A couple of updates. Speed Queen just had a bit of technical issues, so unfortunately she might not be able to make the sprint, but hopefully she'll be back on for the main race. And also one of the drivers who's reserved tonight is Simon Palmer, so it's good to see him back in the racing, and he'll be up for it, but he'll be in the Williams car. So yeah, so there's going to be a lot of action galore. Good evening to Gat. How you doing, mate? You alright? This is Speed Queen has had, I was just about to say, Speed Queen has had a power cut, hoping to make the main race. Yeah, depending on how everyone else gets on, it depends. If we've not heard anything from the weather crew just yet, but we'll find out sooner rather than later. But Tim, did you check the results from the last times, or shall I go through with you what happened in the last 2 races with you?
Oh, Malc, you go ahead and go right through it. We need to hear it from the man that was there.
Hear it from me. Hear it from me. Joe Amster, yes, Joe Amster had a fantastic weekend at the Japanese Grand Prix. He had 32 points overall from the sprint as well as the feature race. He had a fantastic time as well. So there was so much battles galore. You just cannot make any silly mistakes. There was penalties as well. Nigel Gash has done well as well with 29 points overall on the Japanese Grand Prix. And then third best, correct me if I'm wrong, is Melanate. Melanate is getting close, but the driver's standings is really close because after the Japanese, we had the Spanish Grand Prix, and Smoke got his old self back into the winning ways. He won at the Spanish Grand Prix in the main race. and he did really well. To be fair, I'm just trying to look at some of the points. Yes, so Matty, who had, his best result was obviously at the British Grand Prix in round 4, but he got 23 points in Spain, so he did really well. Same with Sab as well. So Sab's getting close to the top half, so to the top 3, shall we say. So Smoke is in the lead with 124 points. Russman is in second with 122. Menonade is in third with 121. Ginger Tiger is in fourth with 119, and then Saab in fifth place with 108, and the rest are under 108 points. So that's how close, Tim. That's how close the standings are for the drivers. But for the constructors, this is what we love about the Invictus Racing League, because you've got teams where like Race Ventura Wind Detectors, they're in the lead with the duo of Russman and Smoke with 246 points, and Smooth Operators in second with 229. Neither Fast nor Furious is in third with 207. Bouncy Proposing Drivers is in fourth with 191, and Nikita Mazepin Racing is 160 points in fifth, and then the rest are under 160 points indeed. We're just waiting for, I believe, there might be some technical issues with the lobby.
Oh my goodness. Well, looks like we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait. It should be starting now. But I'm just checking on the chat. We do apologise, guys. I think there's been some technical faults with the lobby. Hopefully we're about to start. But I'm just keeping on checking on the updates for you guys. It's just,
now
I think. Sorry, Tim.
No, we could always sing to entertain people while we're waiting.
Entertain. What are you trying to do, Tim? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get you to sing and embarrass yourself on the internet.
Oh, me? Me?
Yeah.
No. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a yes. So you're gonna sing once we join the new lobby.
No, absolutely not. You're not going to twist the words. You're not going to try do anything.
I didn't twist anything. You're the one that said absolutely. We can watch the stream back.
Oh, no. Tough to be fair. Tough. But yeah, we're just waiting for the guys to see if we are about to start.
Don't you just love the? I'm sorry, Matt, but don't you just love the technical difficulties that happen? When we were so ready, we were so ready. It's like, okay, we're getting the sprint race out of the way, then we're gonna have our 27-lap race, and we're gonna continue this championship fight, and we're gonna see who wins this race. But now we have to sit here and just, I guess, twiddle our thumbs until we get some information.
Well, Reeds is saying we've got some great CCTV coverage of all the garages, to be fair, at the minute, down the pit lane. Yes, Reeds, yes. So we should be starting any moment now. Hopefully we'll start. We're just having some technical faults. I believe Tinnis and Spud had some technical faults of getting into the car. Hopefully we'll start. Yay! We finally start. Get in there. So here we go. There's your little bit of the singing, to be fair. So that's what you're going to see.
Well, it is more Bono cheering.
More.
Good.
Mono. Oh,
no, Bono.
Joined. Bono. How do I say? 10 seconds. Tim, 10 seconds. We're about to start. I'll let you do the driving.
Oh yeah, there's no formation laps. See, I've got to remember everything again, Malc. But we got 9 laps for our sprint race, then it's going to be a 27-lap Grand Prix. But the sprint race will decide our lineup for our Grand Prix, and we are green here for the French Grand Prix qualifying race.
And they're off now. They're coming to turn 1. Oh, there was a Ferrari and then the McLaren, and it looks like it's a split. Oh no, Nigel Cash has gone off. Nigel Cash has gone off, and he's out of the race. He is out of the race. There was a massive carnage, and Smoke is out as well. Smoke is out as well.
And it looks like we got a safety car, Malc.
We got our first safety car of the evening, but that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't catch what happened to Nitrogash or Smoke, but yeah, I don't know if they had contact, but Russman has got themselves a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. So Nitrogash and Smoke, they are both out of the sprint race, so they'll be starting at the back of the grid in the feature. But Russman's the only one who's got the penalty, Tim.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Russman, they are running P5 in the Haas car today, and while his teammate, his Race Ventura Wind Detector's teammate of Smoke is out before they even complete a lap, so it's P17 starting spot for him in the Grand Prix. Nitrogash bringing up the rear in 18th.
Yeah, so it's just a shame because now we're going to have a few drivers going to be on for the safety car to try and see what they can try and do on those medium tyres. Obviously, the medium tyres will go all the way to the end, regardless, on the 9 laps. There will be no pit stops unless there's front wing damage or anything damage to the car. That will be the only thing that will be. Reed says, oh no, I'm having flashbacks of yesterday. Yeah, I'm hoping that there'll be no flashbacks as what happened. Saab and Simon Palmer and Joe Amster, 3 drivers have already pitted, so I'm just going to have a quick look on the pits, Tim, trying to see what's happened, because they're all probably going to have front wing damage, otherwise they wouldn't come in. Yeah, so Simon Palmer's got himself a front wing, I believe. Well, the 2 Alfa Romeos. So they took changed tyres from Joe Amster and Saab, but they've gone for the soft tyre. They're gambling to go on the softs with the safety car, so I don't blame them for that. But yeah, the softs can do it, but obviously the tyre wear around at the French Grand Prix, at the Paul Ricard Grand Prix, it's going to be absolutely atrocious. That's the word I was trying to go after. Lee Harding says, hopefully more finishes than last time. Hopefully. Well, we've got 18. We had all the way down to 7 drivers, Tim, last night in F3. 7 drivers out of 18. That's how mad that race was.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so hopefully there's no flashbacks tonight with from the F3 to the Realistic Performance League. So I bet you've missed so much of the Realistic Performance action, shall we say, Tim.
I'm surprised that this track has gained such a reputation, at least this week, for having all this carnage, because it's such a big track. It's very wide. You've got a runoff area for days, which, I mean, I personally do love the runoff area. I know that's criticized, but just saying, I'm going to die on that hill. I love the runoff area here. But going away from my tangents, but no, seriously, though, this track, it's you have such a wide room for error, I guess you can say, because of these runoff areas and because the track itself just seems very wide. So it is surprising to me that we've had some issues with drivers just, getting into incidents, but it does kind of make sense when you take into consideration the very long straightaways and the speeds that you can carry around this track. So it really opens the door for very minor mistakes for these drivers to make.
Yeah, absolutely. Smoke says, what the hell? Well, I didn't catch yours or Nitrogash's crashes, so I don't know what exactly happened from your perspective. So I'll try and have a look back after, but hopefully you'll give us some more info, Smoke, from your point of view. But yeah, there was a few drivers that went to the pits. I'm not sure if they were weak. I think it was Simon Palmer who had the wing damage. That's all I know. So Joe Amster and Saab were changing tyres as well at the same time. Denelli was also pitted for the fresh softs. So 4 drivers, Tim. 4 drivers is gambling on the softs, while all the rest are on the mediums.
Well, we'll see how those soft tires are going to go. And, at this point where you have wing damage in the sprint, you might as well go onto the soft tires and see what happens, because that will give you some valuable information for the race. We've talked about it all season to where the soft tires really don't seem to have as much of an advantage most of the time that you would expect and that we've seen in previous seasons, but obviously that does depend on the driver and their setup. So this gives these drivers a bit of a free practice session. They get to judge just how much of an advantage they're going to have on fresh soft tires versus slightly older but still pretty much fresh medium tires.
Yeah, absolutely, because obviously you want to take this gamble of the softs to try and get your advantage onto those medium tyres. But remember, obviously you got 7 laps. Yeah, 7 laps to go. The softs will last anyway, but the mediums should be stable anyway. They should be all right to go to the end anyway. But the drivers are all all getting themselves ready, Tim. They're all getting ready, so I won't wait any longer. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, so good evening to you, Nitro. I've seen your comments. I know. We'll check on that after. Leo says maybe Smoker got done by a car in front heavy for Delta, maybe not. Yeah, probably be by mistake as well. So the safety car's in, Tim. We get back to the racing.
And on board with Keza, but remember, Melonade is the control car. He's to decide when we go back racing, as long as before the start-finish line. Well, he decided, and Keza, well, he kept pretty close, 0.3 of a second behind Melonade. And let's see when he's going to have a move at him. He's right on the back of that Mercedes. We're going to ride on board with Keza. He's going to have the best view of this thing. And, well, we would expect so, considering it's his own battle. Looks like there's some jostling around for position. And by jostling, I mean JP has had some issues, and he's dropping way, way back down to P13 at the moment. Maybe in jeopardy of losing even more spots as Keza takes out the cone at the apex. But we don't need that cone there anyway. Melonade's starting to pull away a little bit, and I bet Keza wishes he had DRS.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The DRS won't be active for the next few laps. So we have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. It looks like Tarak is trying to put the pressure on Steven in the mid-pack.
Oh, and Keza just made a move. He went onto the inside of Melonade and just absolutely sent it out, break the Mercedes. And I kind of think Melonade might have given him a little bit of a break, too, saying, it's just a qualifying race. You go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Keza wants to redeem himself after he said that he had a great opportunity to do well. I think it was the Japanese or one of the races. He did say clearly that he would be doing well, but he had a terrible race. Well, he had an unfortunate end of the race, to be fair. So hopefully this will be redeemed in the sprint part. But then can he match it into the feature? That's the biggest question of it all. Looks like Michael's dropped down to 8. Darrell, he's moved up to 7. Watch out for Darrell, actually, Tim. He has done well in the F3 race last night. So watch out for him as well. So there's all the drivers still closing in. I expect the softs to kick in. Looks like Saab is the only one that's gone past one of the medium drivers at the moment. Simon Farmer, Joe and Tadeli are all struggling to try to get past. Pardon me, couldn't say the words then. Up to you, Tim.
I want you to take a look at Russman, though, in P4. He seems slowly but surely to be gaining on the cars ahead of him. It seems that he's a little bit stronger in the second, maybe third sector than he is toward the end of the third sector into the first sector, because I've noticed he's lost a little bit of time through these couple of corners. But let's watch and see if he's able to gain on them through the second and third sectors here, as Keza, Melanade, and Sunboy, pretty much a 3-car group up there for the top 3. Wondering if maybe these are going to be the top 3 drivers that we see in this race, and maybe Russman throwing his hat into the ring there as well. It's sort of a 4-car breakaway at the moment. So you saw there through that chicane, Russman gained about a 10th or so. He was about a second or so behind, and he gained down the straightaway and into the chicane. So let's see if he can gain a little bit more through these corners here. Already the gap is down to 0.7 of a second, and Russman gained so much through the third sector, but you're gonna see the time fall off a little bit maybe once he gets down to the home stretch. But look at how much he's gained already practically onto the back of Sunboy, and goes a little bit wide, misses up the curb a little bit, so that is going to hurt the gap behind him. So Russman really needs to use these laps to figure out just how to navigate that car, but he gained a ton through the final corner, and that was a fantastic exit actually down the front straightaway. So I think Russman's starting to kick into high gear.
Yeah, while you're watching that, there's been some action-packed galore with 2 of the bed moments. Yellow flags up to 3. That is Joe Amster. Joe Amster, I believe. And we got another safety car. Oh, no, that was Tadeli, sorry. I do apologise. That was Tadeli. Lost it at the last corner. We've got another safety car, Tim. I do not believe what is going to happen. Oh, I've got nightmares now. It's going to come back, isn't it? From F3 last night. This is what's worrying. It's going to be nightmare galore. Because the safety car, and I think there's been some problems with the Delta as well. So there's been... this is going to be a mad last few laps. And especially with the safety car. The safety car's going to have to go in probably on the last lap. Maybe probably second from last on lap 8, or maybe on the lap. So a mad chance, to be fair. Smoke says no chance of scoring points. You never know, Smoke. You never know. You might have a chance to get some points in the feature race. You never know what's going to happen. Reen says there is no end. There is no end. You've heard that right. You've heard that right. Tim, oh my God. Are we going to have another shock tonight?
Well, Malc, I need you to explain what's about to happen again. I get that there has been a problem with the safety car Delta. I did hear that. But what else is happening? I'm assuming that the F3 race last night was plagued with time penalties and safety cars and probably some mad drivers.
Yeah, so during the there was two cars. One car had two drive-throughs within a safety car limit. Saab is going into the pits again, so I don't know whether he's just had some front-wing damage, but they got disqualified. There was quite a few drivers who got crashed in the last 5 laps of F3. This is why I keep saying that has been the maddest and most craziest race I've ever commentated in Invictus Racing League, and I'm saying this every time because it's just been mad, absolutely mad. And Lee Harling says, day 4 of Invictus Racing League, and Paul Ricard claims his 85th victim. Well, are we going to get the 100th victim? That's the problem of it all, where it go.
If we get the 100th victim, Malc, then we're going to have like 3 cars left.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just mad. It's just been absolutely mad. It was just exaggerating, like the 85th casualty itself, but it's just been a mad race. And I think the safety car might be in this lap, because Saab will catch up to the guys ahead. Nice one, Nigel. I just seen that comment. Speedquiz just wouldn't let me pick the car in lobby, so it's going to be potluck when I get between Williams or Aston. Is there a way to get the Williams whilst I'm sat waiting? I'm not 100% sure, Speedquiz. I'm not 100% sure. But the safety car is in this lap. I guarantee you that. The safety car is in this lap. But I'm not 100% sure, Speedquiz. Again, I don't know. Rain says, I've got to say, having a wheel here is quite an advantage. Controlling your exits, vehicles smoother, absolutely. So, we're going to have a 2-lap fight, Tim. 2-lap fight. And at the moment, Keza is holding on for dear life in first place, Tim.
And this time, the running order for first and second, it's been switched around. Last time, Melanade was leading. Now it's Keza. Melanade, he got a decent start, but Keza kept with him. Let's see what kind of start Keza's going to get. Trying to warm up those tires, and he goes, and he slides and spins. Oh, no! Melanade goes around and back into the lead. Sunboy P2, Russman P3. Keza just got a little bit too throttle happy, turned the car around, and that has got to be heartbreaking for him. Melanade P1, and now Sunboy trying to chase him down, half a second back. Lap 8 of 9, a 2-lap shootout. It starts now. Russman gets into P3, but remember, he's got that time penalty hanging over his head. Likely not going to be a third-place starting position for him. He's got time to get out ahead, but that 3-second gap, or actually it's a 5-second gap. No way he's overcoming that.
No, absolutely. I know Stephen has lost it at, dropped down to 15th place. So Stephen drops down to 15th place. I don't know if he had a bit of a crash or a spin, but he's unfortunately dropped down to 15th on the penultimate lap. So mad scenes, to be fair. And I tell you what, I said this, I am not doing a commentator's curse, so I'm sorry, Keza. I did say it happened to him last time when he had a fantastic start. He had a fantastic sprint. I know that was sprint into the feature, but this time Keza had a great start, and now he's dropped himself down to 6th place. So hopefully he'll bounce himself back in the next feature race as well. So here we go. They're coming up to the 3rd sector now, and Tarak is trying to close in on Michael for 8th place. Keza's getting close to Darrell for 5th. I just don't know where it's. So if Sunboy gets the move, he needs to make the move done on Melanade, because he is on the Mercedes, and it's going to be tough, Tim.
Yeah, so Tarak really gaining a lot there on Michael Luke, but we're going to have to go back to the battle for the lead here in just a moment, because they're back on the front straightaway, about to take the final lap for the sprint race. Remember, we got a 27-lap Grand Prix coming up right after this, and the sprint race determines the starting lineup for that Grand Prix. So even though this is just a sprint race, there's still something on the line here. Sunboy wanting to get that top starting spot. Melonade wanting to hang on. We'll see what happens here. It's only going to be between them two. Rustman with that 5-second time penalty. The best that he can do is run as fast as he can and minimize the penalty that he's going to suffer.
Absolutely, so you have to try and get a good opportunity as quickly as possible. Oh my God, who's that? That's Daryl. Oh, we got to do it a bit, Mama. Come on! Come on! You want to make the move? You got to do it now! They're side by side. They're still side by side. Oh, but Daryl! Oh my God, where's Keza? Oh my God, if Keza made a double move, he might do. He might have a chance, but Daryl's just trying to ease off. But I tell you what, Keza had the chance to do a double move. Oh,
but meanwhile, Sunboy is practically pushing Melonade into the corner, trying to make a move on the outside line. Does he get the job done? No! No, he does not. Is he going to do the old switcheroo? Melonade keeping it defended on the inside. Will Sunboy maybe have one more opportunity to get by Melonade? He's going to give it a go, and he slides just a little bit, hangs on to it, but I think that just lost every bit of opportunity he's going to have to get by Melonade. All the same, Sunboy giving it every effort, but knows that second is all he can do. Melonade is going to come and cross the line and win the sprint race. P1 for him, P2 for Sunboy, P3 on track for Rustman, but drops back. Daryl Whiffen looks like is going to be able to start in P3.
Yeah, so Rustman is all the way down to 10th place, unfortunately for him, with that penalty. And Keza, I think he's just lost his communication with the car. Hopefully he'll be back in. But if you like what we've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live racing itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. So, Tim, I'll let you do the honours.
And your official starting lineup for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League French Grand Prix is going to be Melonade in first, Sunboy in second, Daryl Whiffen in third, Tennis in fourth, Keza in fifth, Michael Lute in sixth, Sir Spud in seventh, Turok in eighth, Ginger Tiger in ninth, Rustman 10th, JP in 11th, 12th is Simon Palmer, Joe Hamster in 13th, 14th is Sab, O. Steven in 15th, 16th is Tadeli, Smoke in 17th, 18th is Nitrogash, and we are being told that Speed Queen 80 should be able to join the race, so that should be putting her in the 19th position. We're going to start our Grand Prix here in just a moment, but real quick, Malc, I think it's time for our top 3 predictions, and I'm going to go ahead and get mine out of the way. I'm sorry, it's not going to be any fun. I was sitting there, I was thinking about this throughout the entire sprint race, and it's almost what we have for our sprint race finish. It's going to be in any particular order: Rustman, he's obviously the odd man out, but then Daryl Whiffen and Sunboy.
Ooh. I'm going to go for Melonade, Rustman, and Tinnis. I'm going to say Tinnis for the top 3 in any order as well. So Melonade, Rustman, and Tinnis. Yeah, I'm going to go for that.
Well, we will find out just who is going to stand on the top spot of that podium and who will join him up there. Just waiting for the drivers to choose their strategies. We do give them a little bit of time to do that because, well, strategy is a bit important when it comes to racing, and then we will be ready to jump into the race. Remember, we do not have formation laps. It is just an immediate jump into the race, so don't get caught off guard. Just be prepared. Go make you some popcorn or something, but kick back, relax. It is a perfect, well, night in the UK for racing, but it's still daytime where I am.
Jealous. Absolutely jealous. Well, we want more daytime itself. So, yeah, nice one, Nitro. Let's hope everything goes okay for you in the feature race. But as I said, just before we're about to show the standings, hello, IRL, how you doing, mate? Hope you came well. Just a reminder, guys, if you like what you see so far, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Also, like this stream, guys. Like this stream will be a massive help to myself, Malc, and Tim are the commentators, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. It will be a massive help. It will be a massive help for the stream as well. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Reed says, I have a bit of a suggestion. Winning both races gets you 5 more bonus points. What do you think about that? Would you like to see that, Tim?
Well, I mean, if the sprint races are going to continue into the future, then
Yeah.
that's something to look at. Yes, because I mean,
I'll tell you
I
what.
do kind of like that idea. That reminds me of the old NASCAR points format back in the days when it was the Winston Cup series, to where
Yeah.
you got 5 bonus points for leading 1 lap. You got an extra 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. So it added a little bit of a different dynamic to the races, because you'd hear the commentators all the time talking about the championship battle and talking about how, oh, this guy needs to lead this lap. It's 5 extra bonus points. Well, that would turn us into talking about he needs to win this race because it's 5 extra points.
I tell you what. If you get the hat trick, and I say the hat trick, say you won the sprint, you won the feature, and the fastest lap. Another 5 points, or do you think that's too much for a hat trick with that?
We're getting into too much math for me to commentate, or for me to comment. So
For you to commentate.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave that part to the Invictus Racing League admins. I don't want to fry my brain with too much math.
Well, we won't wait any longer, guys. We're going to go straight to the feature. Tim, 5 seconds left. I'll let you do the honours.
And the drivers, well, they've already found their appropriate positions on the grid, and we're just about ready to go for 27 laps of racing around here. You hear those itchy pedal feet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. And no red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League French Grand Prix. Melonade out to an early lead. Oh, and look at that. Was that Keza or was that Michael jumping around back there in the Alpine? Either way, Melonade a nice, solid lead. And Sunboy, Daryl Wolfen side by side. What's going on, Malc?
Michael's spun. There's another car that spun. Ginger Tiger's spun. And looks like Simon Palmer's spun as well. Taraka's dropped down to 11. What is going on? Everyone is going... It feels like everyone's rushing to get themselves ahead in the first few corners. And it's panic stations. You cannot win a race in the first corner, but you can always lose one. That is madness, Tim. Absolutely madness. Sorry.
And I think that's about the best that you can say. Meanwhile, we got Tennis trying to make a move on Daryl Whiffen on the inside. Can't really do anything with it, but we got Keza trying to make a move on his outside. Again, can't do anything with it. And then Russman moving up through the pack. There's Keza. Russman now battling with Sir Spud. Almost some contact there, but they do keep it clean there. And look at the Aston Martins of Smoke and Speed Queen just moving through the pack. Already Smoke up to P12. He said that he wasn't going to score points. Well, he might anyway.
Yeah, let's wait and see how everything plans out. This is lights out, away we go. Absolutely, lights out. This day is me after 2 beers, Prix says. Well, you'll find out in the next few laps. What's going to happen? Jarvis moves up to 8. JP drops down to 9th. No, JP moves himself up to 8. Jarvis drops down to 9th place. I was hoping that they were going to switch positions. I was going to say, will you pick a position itself? Oh, who's that? That is Keza. Keza's holding on for dear life. Russman is putting a lot of pressure on Keza. Oh my God, we're going to the bed. Come on! Come on! Get in! Oh, beautiful move for Russman. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
Russman moves himself up into P5. But meanwhile, now we're on lap 2, and already Melonade has a 3-second lead over Sunboy there in P2. Now, part of that is because of all the jostling around we saw there at the start, but also look at the tire compounds. Melonade going on the medium, Sunboy, Daryl Wolfen both on the hard compound tires. Now, who's to say which one's the better strategy at this moment, because that's going to depend a lot on how many safety cars we have in this race. All the same, Melonade looking good early on as Tennis moves himself up into P3 around Daryl Wolfen. And, well, we were talking about the medium compound tires. Tennis is on the mediums.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we never know what's going to happen so far. It looks like JP holding on for dear life under that pressure from Joe Amster. Still, just a reminder, guys, Speed Queen did join in while we were still waiting for that loading screen. That was when we did the sprint. Unfortunately, she couldn't be able to pick the car. So unfortunately, she was meant to be on the Williams, but because she couldn't get the chance to pick the car, it was chosen her as the Aston Martin. So we'll find out what's going to happen next from their perspective. Tarak and Michael having a battle to the bed moment. And Simon Bowman nearly caught with Michael on 16th place, but...
Oh, and contact!
Oh no, Tarak, and it looks like Tarak went to the back of Nojagash and lost the back end at the last corner. It was just madness. It looks like Tarak has lost all their positions. He's dropped it down to 19th place. But again, some of the driving, it's going to be questioned about as well. But I'm really hoping it's not going to be a nightmare situation from F3 last night following on to the RP. I hope not, because it would have been wreck conditions. But I've not heard anything from the weather crew at all just yet. But we'll have to wait and see how everything goes. With Smoke will be putting the pressure on Sab in 10th, but cannot get close just yet, Tim.
And Smoke really just trying to use that DRS to his advantage there. And you see that rear wing wide open. But guess what? Sab, he might have had some DRS of his own. Not actually sure if there was a DRS string there or not. All the same, Smoke was able to gain a little bit on that Alfa Romeo. Of course, as you see, Smoke on those medium compound tires trying to charge through the field here. So it's two Alfa Romeos in 9th and 10th. Smoke there in the Aston Martin in P11. Those are the battles that we're watching at the moment. Meanwhile, Melanade is 4.3 seconds ahead of P2. But now Tennis is making a move into third. Daryl Whiffen trying to fight with him side by side. McLaren versus Mercedes.
Go on! Come on! You want to make the move! You gotta do it now! Tennis, beautiful move. Daryl will not be happy. Will not be happy with that move. He wants to make that move back as soon as possible.
Oh, and Tennis, he spins off!
Oh no, Tennis! Tennis, what are you doing? Oh no! I told him to be in the top 3, and what does he do? He lost the back end and hit the wall, and now he's lost front wing. He has lost himself front wing, and he's going to have to do a whole lap, Tim, with broken front wing, Tim.
Oh, and that is such a shame for him. I mean, he was so fast. He was just moving through the field. I mean, he was solidly at least the third fastest car here. I mean, we could see it with him fighting Daryl Whiffen, and then he just makes one little mistake on corner exit, and it kills his race.
Absolutely, it needs to step up.
Oh, and speaking of a mistake on corner exit, though, Sir Spud just had a big moment. And, you know, look, though, Malc, he's on the hard compound tire. I'm wondering if maybe there's just not a lot of heat in those tires yet, so he's struggling to get the grip in the rears.
Well, the hards should be kicking in probably the next few laps or so. Well, I'd say a few laps. Oh! Joe and Sir Spud go side by side. It looks like Jarvis's tyres has already heated up, but Sir Spud, it's not kicking in just yet, Tim. It might be another 5 laps or so for the hards to really kick in. For the medium, should be in the next few laps to be kicked in. Joe! Oh my God, Joe had to cut the corner a little bit to try to avoid. Oh, Sir Spud! Oh my God, what is going on? Yellow flags. Nitrogas Speed Queen. Speed Queen drops herself down to 19th place. Today drops down to 16. What is going on? What is going on tonight, Tim?
Absolute madness. That's what's going on, Malc. Joe Hamster in P8 trying to get around Sir Spud there in the Ferrari, but he has got the defending champion of Smoke breathing down his neck in P9. He started in 17th, and he's already worked his way up about 8 positions, and there goes Joe Hamster underneath the Sir Spud. It's going to be a side-by-side battle. Sir Spud off the track a little bit, but still is able to maintain a little bit of pace, but finally Joe Hamster clears him. Now it's side-by-side with Smoke and Sir Spud. Who's going to win out on this little battle? Smoke in the Aston Martin, Sir Spud in the Ferrari, still side by side. Sir Spud will not give it up, but Smoke on the outside found some momentum, and he is finally clear of Sir Spud. Now he's got his sights set on Joe Hamster. He should theoretically have the DRS down this straightaway. Let's see if he's going to be able to do anything with it. He's on the medium compound tires, so we should see a big performance advantage, at least in the early goings, and you saw him gain so much time down the straightaway, but not close enough to make a move that time. Smoke is going to have to stay close to Joe and set him up for a move in another corner.
Absolutely. Oh, Sab! Oh, we've got the 3 to bed moment! We just had a 3 to bed moment! Oh my God! Oh, Stephen! Oh, brilliant move! But Sab's holding on! Sab is on! No, Spud is on the outside, in the inside. I do not know what I'm saying anymore. This is brilliant racing! Absolutely brilliant racing! Oh my God, there's still 2 in the bed moment with Sab and Spud.
Oh, in contact, and now we got Sab spinning around. Sir Spud P10, and Sab spun around. Hopefully, it's just a spin and no more carnage for him. He doesn't need any more bad luck. Likely some wing damage, though, on that Alfa Romeo. Sir Spud still holding on to 10th at the moment. O'Steven just ahead of him. Meanwhile, Smoke, he still has not been able to get by Joe Hamster there, but we're taking a look at Russman at the moment, who has got Keza right behind him. So Russman moved himself up into P3, Keza into P4.
Sorry, Tim. Darrell has lost it after turn 1. He has lost himself after turn 1. He's dropped himself down to 9th now. He's dropped himself down to 9th. He had a great opportunity in the top 5. Today he's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, Tim.
And Russman still hanging on to P3. Keza trying to use that DRS. Might have an opportunity to make a move on him. Looks to the inside. It's going to be a side-by-side battle through the chicane. Keza makes the move. Does he keep it? Yes, he does. Russman P4. Keza P3. Now back down to Smoke, trying to get chased to Joe Hamster in the same corner, but not as much luck.
Not as much luck. But Dallas really wanted to try play his cards right and get past O'Steven as quickly as possible, because everyone else is trying to pass to Spud. G Tiger's got the move. Yellow flag set to 2. Queen and Sab. Might be Speed Queen and Sab. Might be Speed Queen.
And
oh my God!
Making the move on Joe Hamster now, side by side,
and
he gets
brilliant.
the job done.
Brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant move there from Smoke. Sorry, Tim. That was brilliant. Brilliant.
So we'll rejoin the battle for the lead, although it's really not much of a battle at all, because there's your second place driver, there's your first place driver, 4 seconds separating both of them. Melanade, of course, in P1, Sunboy there in P2, Keza P3. A little bit of a battle maybe for P3 between Russman and Keza. All the same, though, Keza starting to pull away. We've seen how quick Keza is, but we saw that big mistake he made in the sprint race as well. You know that's hanging over his head, and then he wants a little bit of redemption for that mistake. Well, he's running P3, definitely a solid spot, but he's got a time penalty that he's got to worry about too. That is 3 seconds, so that will not be removed.
Yeah, hopefully he'll try and push on, but Spud is dropping down. Domino's effect at the moment, slow, 1 by 1, dropped down to 14th place. Now Darrell probably is to put the pressure on. And O'Steven down to the bed moment. Come on, and James has moved up to 6. Darrell's moved up to 8. And good moves, to be fair, really good moves. Lee, I am not saying what you're saying on the comment there, but you got me there, to be fair. But yeah, it's lap 7 of 27. Ginger Tigers moves up to 10. Darrell's going to go around the inside. So much bounce galore. Darrell's trying to hold on the inside line, but O'Steven is not having it. He's trying to go side by side. He's trying to save the DRS as well at the same time. But O'Steven is saying, look, mate, I'm not giving up this position. You need to give me that position back as quickly as possible, and he's going to make the move. Oh, my God. Don't do this to me. Do not. Oh, I thought he was going to make the move there, Tim.
And on board with O'Steven now coming out of the final corner. Let's see if he's going to be able to get some DRS on him. Will he be able to actually make the move, though, is the big question here. Using the slipstream, might have an opportunity. It's going to be close, maybe a little bit far back, but he goes for it anyway. Realized he couldn't make it, so he had to check up. All the same, a good effort from O'Steven, and Darrell Whiffen very vigilant there, making sure that he knew where O'Steven was, and he was going to give him some room if he went on the inside.
Absolutely. To the bed moment, so Nigel Gash moves up to 11. Michael drops down to 12. And they come up to the DRS section in Sector 2. Now, oh my God, come on. Here we go, Ginger Tiger. Oh my God, there's a spin. So Spud has spun. Oh my God, 2 in the bed moment between O'Steven and Darrell. Sorry, O'Steven and Ginger Tiger. Oh my God, that was close. That was really close between O'Steven and Ginger Tiger, Tim.
So O'Steven hanging on to P9, Ginger Tiger P10. Pretty much no change, but, you know, they've been moving around so much, you kind of expect to see some change there. Of course, Nitro Gash back there, so it's 2 Red Bulls, a Haas, and a Mercedes. A bit of a weird combination to see racing together, but for us Haas fans, maybe one day.
One day for you, mate, one day. But the Red Bull still got some wings and trying to fly into the top 10 slowly as well. O'Steven doing everything he can to put the pressure on Darrell in 8th, but there's so much balance in the mid-pack. It's just unbelievable stuff. Reed says Smoke is a man on a mission. Well, he is. He's on the mediums at the minute. He's trying to close the gap onto JP in fifth. He wants to try and get another a podium finish at least from last week, because obviously we had the rearranged Spanish Grand Prix. That was it, the Spanish Grand Prix as well. So from last week. So he wants to try and get into that top three as quickly as possible, but Tiger, who's been man on the form, he's under pressure because Melonade is doing really well at the minute in first, but Stephen, they're closing the gap onto the Mercedes team.
Yeah, and Malc, I am noticing though that speaking of closing the gap, Sunboy is starting to close the gap just a little bit to Melonade. It was about 4 seconds, now it's down to 3.5. I'm almost wondering if now's about that time to where the mediums start to lose a little bit of pace and the hards are starting to be the preferred tire just because of how many laps we have on them.
I would say the medium should last about 14, 15 laps, but because this is a performance league, I think the guys will try and pit early as well, so you never know. Tarak is having a battle with Simon Palmer in 13th and 14th place respectively. We'll have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. Will be a massive help to myself, Malc, and Tim on the commentators box, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel on this stream. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button as well. Simon Palmer is the first person to pit from the medium tyres, Tim.
Yeah, and now Steven just still chasing down Daryl Whiffen, and I guess this is a bit of a DRS train that we got here, but Daryl Whiffen right there on the back of Joe Hamster now. As you mentioned, pit stops are just now starting to cycle through here, and Taraka 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so it's unfortunate for him. He's running back in the 13th position at the moment. He is, I think, actually still part of this DRS train, and that's the thing, is that we get these cars in a line, and you can have, a line of like 10 cars or more sometimes, maybe, in extreme cases, that can all be separated by, less than a second between the one ahead of them. And now Sir Spud, a 3-second time penalty, and a yellow flag in Sector 2. Is that Sir Spud?
No, it wasn't. It was Nigel Gash. I think he lost it. I don't know whether he got caught by one of the drivers or lost it in one of the corners, but fortunately he dropped himself down to 14th place, Tim.
Well, meanwhile, Daryl Whiffen just made the move on Joe Hamster into P7 and pretty much passed him like he was sitting still. So that would make sense, though, obviously. Like you said, this is the Performance League. So the way that we do the Performance League is exactly how it sounds. These cars are pretty much mimicking their real-life counterparts' performance as best as the developers could make them. So we allow these drivers to actually race the cars with the real-life performance. The faster drivers go to the slower cars, the slower drivers to the faster cars, and the allocations are reviewed every week and changes are made as the admins see appropriate. So Daryl Whiffen in the Mercedes is obviously going to be faster than Joe Hamster in the Alfa Romeo when it comes to the car's raw pace. So even though they're... Oh, what's up now?
Yes, sorry, Tim. Tarak, I keep saying Tinnis. Tarak, incidentally, they've lost it at the last corner, so I don't know if there was any contact between the two drivers, but they did lose it at the last corner, Tim, so I'm so sorry about that, Tim.
Well, I'd say that Tarak feels a little bit worse, though.
He's fine. He's on the medium tyres. He's going to be quick. He's trying to catch up to those hard tyres as quickly as possible. You never know. You never know until they get the safety car.
Now, Tarak's sitting in his sim rig. Malc, you're sitting in a chair in front of your TV, and you're not having a race, and you're the one saying that he's fine.
I'm trying to be polite on the commentators box. You know what's good there. Reed says Melonade is losing chunks of time now. Also, Takeza must have used up all his tyres. Yeah, so some boy is trying to close the gap onto Melonade. What did you say a few laps ago? It was about 4 seconds, Tim, between Melonade and Sunboy, and now it's to 2 seconds, Tim.
Yeah, and Sunboy really looking quick. And, of course, we saw how quick he was there in that sprint race there at the end. And almost won it as, oh, my goodness, there was some contact just about between Ginger Tiger And Steven and the Red Bull, it's a side-by-side battle, and Michael Luke has got the best view of it. There was contact that time. Now Michael goes through, and there was contact between the Haas and the Alpine as well. And Michael side-by-side with Ginger Tiger gets the job done, but can't actually clear him. Ginger Tiger on the inside might be able to make the move back on Michael, but Michael a little bit faster around that outside line. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Which car has DRS? Do they both have DRS? I think they do, so it might be side-by-side into one, except Michael is just able to edge ahead of Ginger Tiger.
That's a great battle between those two drivers. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Menonet's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So he's joined the penalty crew as well. So Menonet, Keza, JP, Tarak, Tedelli and Spud, they've all got at least 3 seconds worth of time penalties too.
So Michael, he's looking pretty fast though, because he was able to finally get that job done on Ginger Tiger. So now he's got his sights set on Steven. Let's see what he can do here. Now the Alpine, not quicker than the Red Bull. So this is probably a little bit more of an even pairing that we're going to see here. Of course, it's going to be a bit difficult for Michael to make some moves because Joe Hamster is right in front of Steven. So he is still in this train. Just because he was able to gain one position doesn't mean he's going to be able to gain more. So Michael still has got his work cut out for him and maybe needs to think about undercuts in the pit strategy.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. But,
and speaking of pit strategy, Melanie making a pit stop.
I think the mediums would be about between 12 and 14 laps. I would expect it to see. So Rusman's also going to the pits. Smoke is going into the pits now. Smoke is going into the pits. So I think the medium tyres should be the ones to start going in. So Tarak and Keza are the only ones left. Tim? Oh no. Yeah, so Tarak. Oh no, Tarak is going to the 7th pit. So Keza is the only one who's still on those medium tyres after the 12 laps, Tim.
So what would you do, Malc, if you were racing today? Because we've seen it was a mixed bag to where some drivers went on the mediums and then some drivers went on the hards. Now, obviously, it's either going to be medium to hards or hard to medium strategy, but which one do you think, assuming that this race goes green the whole time, which one do you think is going to be the preferred one? Which one would you choose?
Well, it just depends on are you saying it's going to be no safety car? Are you saying with a safety car or without? Because I will make two decisions.
Assuming that there is no safety car, what would be your strategy here? Medium to hard or hard to medium?
If I was in the top 10, medium to hard. If I was outside, I would have gambled to go on the hards to try and go all the way. Because if I'm not quick enough, I would go on the hards all the way and then mediums. But then you just hope for the best. Just try and keep up with the pace with the guys who are on the medium tyres while you're starting off on the hards. So it just depends, really. And depending on the weather as well. At the moment, if it's dry like this, then yeah, medium to hard is the way forward. But if there's a safety car and it happens on lap 20, I would pick for the softs at the end. So medium, hard, soft. That would be my way. Because if I pit for the hard, if I carried on with the hards, I would have no chance where people would just be pitting for fresh tyres anyway. So it just depends at the situation, Tim. Oh my God, what's happened there? Tadeli's out! Tadeli is out! We might have a safety car. We have got another safety car. Sorry, Tim. Sorry. Could you repeat that again? Can you repeat that again, please?
I said we do.
We do have a safety car. Yes, we do.
I don't want to repeat it, Mal.
Well, I've done it loads of times for you, mate, to be fair, so you never know what's going to happen. But we've got another safety car to Delhi. Unfortunately, he's the first person on the feature race to be out of this race on the French Grand Prix. Unbelievable scenes. Absolutely unbelievable.
Now, look at Sunboy. I'm sorry, Matt, but look at Sunboy up here. 20 seconds ahead of JP when that safety car came out, obviously because they were right in the middle of pit stops. So, Sunboy, it's going to be a bit of a no-brainer here. We're going to see him pull into the pits. He's going to have to go onto the medium tires maybe a few laps earlier than what he was anticipating, but the safety car will at least give him a little bit of a break there on the tire wear. So, Sunboy, he doesn't have to worry about whether or not he's going to keep the lead after pit stops. He's definitely going to keep the lead. He just needs to worry about, can he make his medium tires last and still be competitive? There's no question they'll last at the end, but how fast is he going to be?
at this stage, I think he'll be better off with the drivers who will just go onto the hard tyres. So Menonade, Keza, those drivers. So the drivers who are in the hard tyres, it's a tough call, really. It's a tough call because if they go onto the pits now, which a majority have, well, Michael Keza, they've got. Is Keza going to the pits as well? He has. He's going to. Oh no, is Keza? No, sorry, I do apologise. I thought Keza was going to the pits then. But some boys should be pulling away, especially on those medium tyres, away from the hard tyres on Menonade. But Menonade is being quick on those Mercedes, so I think we might have a bit of a close battle between those two, I think, personally, for the next few laps. But it just all depends on the pressure, because some boys got no penalties. Menonade Keza have, JP has, in the top 5 itself. So somebody will be livid. I would be livid because I'll be like 20 seconds past. Like, you've lost that 20-second gap. So now he's going to have to work that socks off now with those medium tyres to try and go all the way to the end, Tim.
Well, we are going to get a pretty nice, what is it, approximately 10-lap shootout, probably when the safety car pulls in, assuming, of course, there's no safety car in between that and the end of this race. Of course, Malc, you were worried there was going to be a repeat of last night. So far, it seems like we're okay, but it's lap 15 and 27, so let's not count our chickens before they hatch, as they say.
I'm going to blame you for that now, Tim, because that'll be the commentator's curse.
Well, no, because I explicitly said we will not count our chickens before they hatch.
But you did mention about hopefully not a repeat of last night. That's what it is.
I mentioned that you didn't want a repeat of last night.
I did. Okay. Oh, damn it. Trying to win doesn't work out well, does it?
Malc, you have got to understand that you are messing with the best BSer in the southern United States.
Too darn right. That's all I'm going to say. Too darn right. I think we're going to have one more lap, Tim. I think you might be right. Well, probably 11 laps. 11 laps. So when we hit lap 17, 11 laps to go for the drivers to kick off. So we're going to have one more lap, Tim, for the... Red Bull Master says Tim is goated. So, yeah, you're right there, mate. You're right there. Reed says, I'm closing my eyes, but leaving the sound on for the safety car restart. Yeah, because last night we had a safety car restart. There was problems with the Delta. Just a reminder, guys, there was problems with the Delta this week alone. But hopefully... and Steven is going into the pits for the soft tyre. That'll be a bit of a risk for the soft, but again, I might be wrong. Hopefully we'll carry on. So Red Bull Master is favourite for you now, Tim.
Yeah, that's actually a buddy of mine, so shout out to Red Bull, and hope that you're enjoying what has so far been a mostly clean race here at the French Grand Prix. Definitely cleaner than the 9-lap sprint race, which is a bit ironic considering we've almost ran twice as many laps.
Just about. We're just waiting for the drivers to kick in. Hopefully, Steven will catch up to these guys. I think the safety car will be in this lap anyway, Tim. I think the safety car will be in this lap because Steven, all he has to do is catch up to the back end. And this is only down the straight. If you can see right at the back, it's just starting the straights on the DRS zone. So I think by the time the safety car comes in on probably the second from last corner, hopefully Steven will catch up. But he's gone really slow. I'm not sure what's happened. I don't know if he just cannot catch up quickly enough.
Russman just spun under safety car, though.
Oh, wow. No, Russman had... did you see what happened?
He just spun on his own.
That is not good news, especially when you're in a chance to have a good opportunity to get into the top 5 as well. So that is dreadful bad luck for Russman. So he's now at the back of the grid, nearly at the back of the grid with Steven. Okay, we might have one more safety car, we'll have one more lap on the safety car because Steven could not catch up to the grid. So, So we will have 10 laps, Tim.
Well, this definitely does help Sunboy because, you know, and really every driver that pitted for the medium tire that time, this is going to help them tremendously because we saw that drivers preferred to pit about lap 11 or 12 on their medium tires. Melonade pitted with 11 laps on his tires for reference. So Sunboy was going to be cutting it a bit close. I think that he was going to have to do 13 laps on those medium tires when you predicted, Malc, that the ideal window is about 12 to 14. So this does give Sunboy a little bit of a bone, shall we say. So now he just has to use it. But one thing that I want to point out, though, is while Russman had some issues, his teammate of Smoke, remember, he started in 17th position. And he said that he didn't think he was going to score points. I guess he just didn't really feel like he had a good shot to even finish the race today. But he is in 5th at the moment. Anything can happen between now and the end of this race, but all the same, up to this point, Smoke looking very good, and virtually he is in 2nd because the 3 drivers ahead of him have time penalties. If he can make quick work of them, then he can try to challenge Sunboy, but he's going to have a bit of a disadvantage, hard tires versus mediums.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it stays like this, obviously Smoke would have got 2nd place at least, and Joe Amster in the top 3 as well, so insane stuff as well. Safety car finally is in this lap. Safety car finally is in this lap. I do feel like I do feel like Smoke needs to get a good start against the drivers ahead of him. If he wants to keep up that pressure, this will be absolutely manic stuff. But yeah, 17th to 5th, Speed Queen from 19th all the way to the 11th. Two good positions itself. Looks like Sunboy is the new leader, so Tim, I'll let you do the honours for the finally of the safety car restart.
And Sunboy gets to decide when we go back racing. As long as before the start-finish line, he's the control car riding on board with Melonade. Let's see what kind of a jump Sunboy is going to get. Melonade, he is going to be ready to pounce as soon as Sunboy does. When does Sunboy go? Not just out of the corner. He is toying with them, waiting, and we go. Sunboy Melonade battling it out. 10 laps to go in the French Grand Prix.
Yeah, so Melonade's trying to make the move. No, he won't. Who's at the back? I have lost the plot. JP holding on for 4th. Tiger. Oh my God! What's happened to there?
Smoke spun. He's down in P17 now. So Sunboy, Melonade, Keza, your top 3. Ginger Tiger and Joe Hamster now in your 5th position. So that's your top 5. Remember, Melonade and Keza, both of them have a time penalty. And now we've got Ginger Tiger there in P4, who's virtually in that 2nd position.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment, Tim. Simon Palmer in the Williams car in 6th place. The reserve driver doing really well at the minute. O'Steven moves up to 15th. Smoke drops down to 18th place because of JP making the move in 17th place. But mad seems to be fair. But I do believe that there was some battles in turn 1 and turn 2, so that'll probably have to be looked at by the stewards, I think, anyway. But yeah, I think that might have been from the Smoke incident as well. So Michael trying to put the pressure on Simon Palmer. Can't do anything about it. Oh, Tarak, two to bed moment. We got another 2 to bed moment now. Unbelievable stuff. Oh my God. This is mad. This is absolutely mad scenes, to be fair. Also, Michael's holding on for DLO Tarak in 8th place, trying to make the move, but can't do anything about it at the moment. But they're going down the straight. Looks like the Mercedes of Dowell. Dowell trying to put the pressure on Speed Queen. Oh my God, who's at the back? It looks like Saab, Nigel Cash and Tinnis, a bit of a moment at the back. Oh my God, we've got the 3 to bed. Oh no! We had a 3 to bed moment, but I think O'Steven lost out. I do apologise, I thought it was Nigel Cash, but it was O'Steven who lost out, to be fair to him.
So Steven back there in the 15th position. We're still watching the battle. Oh, wow, and a big gaggle of cars. Oh, my goodness, and now Tarak and Michael Luke. They make contact. Michael spins around. Tarak off the track as well. They're dropping back. Yellow flag in Sector 1 and 2. I think we're going to stay green, though, at least for now. Tarak, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Well, that definitely was exceeding track limits, but as we saw, there was a reason for it.
Yeah, because he was just waiting for Michael to get himself back up ahead of him, which is fair play to Tarak, but unfortunately for him, he will have that 10-second penalty added to his time. He, at the moment, is in 18th place, but manic scenes already. Reed says, "Want to come back from smoke, and now what's a shame." Yeah, he had a great drive, to be fair, from 17th, or I think it was, to 5th place as well. Tarak, another 3-second time penalty for Baltimore. Marlon says, "Come on, Luke. Last 10 laps on the mediums, that was a few laps ago." So yeah, he had a bit of a contact Marlon between between himself and Tarak. So yeah, yellow flag set to 3. That's Tarak. Tarak has spun on the 3rd sector. So Tim, I don't know what to say anymore.
Well, it is definitely a manic race, Malc, and that's just about all that we can say. But right now we're watching the battle for the lead. It's technically 3 cars, I guess you could say. Sunboy about 1.7 seconds ahead of Melanade, so not much of a battle there. Sunboy starting to pull away finally, but was lagging a little bit, but now finally able to start pulling away, so it's 2 seconds separating Sunboy and Melanade, really kicking into high gear. So now it's a battle for second between Melanade and Keza. Keza making a move around Melanade. Does he get the job done? Yes, he does. Something might be wrong with Melanade. He looks so quick, and now it seems as though he's losing a lot of pace. Behind him, he's got Ginger Tiger on medium tires, who might make quick work of him as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that, to be fair. I really am surprised. But again, Keza is in a very good position, Tim. I am not saying any more. But Keza is in a very good position. Can he hold on? That's a big question. Speed Queen in 8, drops down to 8, sorry. Daryl moves himself up to 7th place. Russman getting close to Saab. Oh, 2 the bed moment. 2 the bed moments there. Oh, this is brilliant, unbelievable battles. Yes, there's some questionable driving on some parts, but when you do see the battles, Tim, it's just been unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, and the battles, they really are just, nail-biting here today around the Circuit Power card. But one thing I want to mention, though, about Keza, as we see Melanade starting to gain a little bit on him and tried to make a move into turn 1, but was too far back to really do anything with it. Keza does have a 3-second time penalty, as does Melanade. So Keza is in a good spot, like you said, Malc. Okay, Sunboy has got the medium tires, Keza's got the hard tires. So here in a few laps, we're going to see Keza maybe start gaining on Sunboy, but it's not just about gaining and passing him. He has to get out 3 seconds ahead unless Sunboy makes the same mistake and exceeds track limits. So Keza looking for redemption, but a mistake early on is making it that much harder on him now in the closing stages of this race.
We just have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. Should be DRS activated now for Russman, trying to put the pressure on. Sad, but the DRS train kicking in. Oh my God, who's that ahead? Looks like Speed Queen. Oh, no! Speed Queen trying to make the move, but I think Speed Queen got caught by Simon Palmer, lost the... I mean, I'll correct myself if I got that wrong, but she went round the outside, lost the back end, tried to avoid contact with Simon Palmer. Unfortunately for her, she lost the car, but then unfortunately for Saab, he could not do anything about it because Russman was on the left-hand side. He had to go around the outside, just had that DRS zone. So unfortunately for Speed Queen and Saab, they dropped themselves down to 17th and 13th respectively, Tim.
So taking a look at Daryl Whiffen now in P6, trying to take P5 from Joe Hamster. Should have the DRS here, but Joe Hamster, massive defending maneuver, but all the same, Daryl Whiffen does get by him. Joe Hamster, well, it looked like he was defending. I'm starting to think maybe he just sort of moved over to let him by. He moved way over to the outside line. Joe Hamster actually going very slow here now, or I thought he was. Now he's starting to actually gain on Daryl Whiffen. So come on, Joe, choose a speed, my friend. And we got a side-by-side battle behind him. Simon Palmer and Russman. Russman on the soft compound tires. Wow, that is definitely a different strategy that we're seeing here from Russman, and it might not necessarily be working for him either.
Oh, Steven makes the move on the inside line. Brilliant stuff. Made that move perfectly against Russman. Oh my God. Steven needs to step up a gear, and he will. Gets blistering ahead of Simon Palmer in 7th place. Simon Palmer on that Williams car is doing his best on those hard tyres and pull away as much as possible, but he's under a lot of pressure from Russman and Tinners, who are both on the soft tyres. Unbelievable drive, but what's going on the back? It looks like there's a two-to-bed moment between JP and Michael. Oh, Michael! No, Michael, no! Don't you dare make the move just yet. Oh, I tell you what, he's trying to make the move. Oh, that's close. That is close, Tim. But JP's not having any of it.
So Michael trying to get back by JP here, and not really looking like he's going to be close enough to benefit from the DRS down the front straightaway, but we'll see what happens out of the final corner. Actually, yeah, Michael gained quite massively through those last two corners, so maybe I'm wrong here, and he will have a go on JP. This is for the 12th position. Now, remember, in the Performance League, as long as you finish the race, you score points, so it's not like Michael and JP are racing for a pointsless position here. They are racing for, well, more points. And JP holds on to P12 at least for now, but Michael slightly closer this time around. Lap 23 of 27. There goes Michael around JP, but does he get to keep the spot? It's going to be a side-by-side battle, and JP still hanging on. Very tight battle, and Michael really cut him a break there because he could have kept it side-by-side, but I think that Michael is being a little strategic here and knowing that he needs to set himself up for this DRS straight. So now let's see if the Alpine can get the job done. We'll ride on board with him. He will have the DRS, and JP, unfortunately for Michael, also has DRS, but we're also seeing some jostling around for position up around the 5th spot. Daryl Whiffen down to P5. Ginger Tiger up into P4, right on the back of Melonade now. So Ginger Tiger trying to get around Melonade for the 3rd spot on lap 23. And will he be able to do it? No, not this time. And the thing is, Ginger Tiger, he's technically ahead of Melonade when it's all said and done because of the time penalty that Melonade has. But Ginger Tiger, if he's going to fight for this lead, he needs to make quick work of Melonade and Keza both. Ginger Tiger has got medium tires on that car, though, so it's starting to look like he's giving up the ghost a little bit, those tires are.
Yeah, absolutely. Melonade needs to start pushing the barriers, pushing the limits to that car, because otherwise Ginger Tiger is going to take that 3rd place at least, well, 2nd place at least, because Keza will drop down to 3rd, Melonade will be out of the points and into 4th. Ginger Tiger will move to 2nd place if it stays like this. Simon Varner drops down to 9th place. Russ Mann moves up to 8th place and trying to do everything he can to put the pressure on, but it's not been as mad as the F3 race last night, I'll guarantee that, guys, but some questionable driving again, I will say, on stream, but again, so many unbelievable stuff. Nitro Gas got the fastest lap of the race with 133.451.
Lap 24 of 27 here, closing in on the end of this race, and here is your leader, Sunboy, in the Alpha Tauri, 2.4 seconds ahead of Keza, who is looking for redemption after a mistake in the sprint race cost him a front row starting spot. Of course, Keza, he made a mistake in the Grand Prix as well, and he's got a 3-second time penalty hanging over his head. It's not over yet. We saw how quickly the hard tires came into play in the early stages of this race, but we are also seeing how quick Sunboy seems to be on old medium tires. So it's going to be between Sunboy and Keza at the end of this race. I do expect Keza to start catching Sunboy here soon, but catching him and overcoming that 3-second deficit is going to be two different things.
That's just my reaction to him. I just can't see that happening. I think he'll get close to Sunboy, but to get ahead of Sunboy and get a 3-second time penalty ahead, too much to ask. It's going to be a different aspect as well. And there's so many cars, unbelievable stuff. Joe Amster put the pressure on Dowell for 5th. We are on about 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. Can anyone try and stop Sunboy, Keza, and Melonade in the top 3? Well, Melonade will be the casualty driver because Ginger Tiger is getting close and will be in the top 3 after if it stays like this. But if you like what we've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel as well. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes. Will be a massive help to myself, Malc, and Tim as the commentators, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Tim.
And Melonade still hanging on to P3 here. Ginger Tiger right on the back of him. And Ginger Tiger, I'd say at this point, has pretty much given up all hope of being able to catch Sunboy and winning this race because without massive mistakes.
Sorry, Tim, I do apologise, but Keza has lost communication on his car. He has lost communication of his car, and he's going to have to get himself back into that car because Melonade and Ginger Tiger are really close to him now. So this is damage limitations for Keza. This is damage limitations. He could be out of the top 3 if it stays like this. He needs to get himself back as quickly as possible. Tim, we might have an explosive ending.
And it's looking like we are. On board with Ginger Tiger, Melonade there in P3. They are fighting with Keza. I think Keza, oh my goodness, Keza, he spins! Keza has spun! And we need to clarify that looked very strange, and it looked as though Keza completely turned toward Ginger Tiger. That's not at all what happened. He was having issues getting back into the car, so Keza did not have full control over that car.
No, absolutely not. But now, Sunboy, Ginger Tiger, and now Melonade will be absolutely lucky. I feel sorry for Keza. I absolutely feel sorry for Keza. I think he has left the session due to issues with the car. But I feel really bad for him because he had a great race against him.
He really did. Keza, he was quick all day long. Yes, he had the mistake in sprint. And yes, he did have a mistake for getting a 3-second time penalty, but it didn't matter. He still was at least a top 5 driver, even after everything that was said and done. And it's going to be really hard for him to, move on from this and not be mad about it. But maybe when he calms down, he'll be able to find just a little bit of comfort in the fact that, yes, he was fast, and that just because this race didn't turn out well for him doesn't mean another one can't.
I know. I just feel bad for him, to be fair, because he'd driven a magnificent race. And JP's moved up to 9, Tinnis drops down to 10, Michael moves up to 11, Keza drops down to 12, Russman and JP have both moved, Simon Palmer in 8th place. They're on the final lap now. We're on the final lap of this race, Tim.
And Sunboy up there in P1, you're looking at your leader here, bud, looking like a battle between Simon Palmer and a whole gaggle of cars. And we got a McLaren around. Was that JP? No, it was Tennis. Tennis, yes, it is Tennis spinning around, and maybe Speed Queen 80 and maybe Michael involved as well. A lot of cars, but we're watching Simon Palmer race with Russman here on the final lap. This is for the 7th position. They all have time penalties, though. Take a look at that. There is your time penalties, and you try to make sense of where these drivers are going to end up, because I certainly can't, but it is Sunboy who is your leader at the moment. There is a small battle for the 2nd position, but Melonade with that 3-second time penalty has very little chance of overcoming that. Sunboy in the 3rd and final sector now. He ran a great sprint race. He finished in 2nd. And now, I think he won the sprint race. Never mind what happened in the sprint race. The sprint race doesn't matter. It's been such a chaotic race that I have to admit I forgot the sprint race. But thankfully, it's not the sprint race that counts. It is the Grand Prix. And out of the final corner, Sunboy will be the victor here at the French Grand Prix. Congratulations to Sunboy in the AlphaTauri.
Fantastic drive for Sunboy. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Ginger Tiger will finish off in 2nd, Melonade in 3rd. Absolutely jubilant scenes for the top 3 drivers. Fantastic stuff. Darrell trying to hold on in 4th place, but I'm just watching the battle. I will say there's been a few drivers who have been really impressed tonight, to be fair. Let's say, based on the positions as well. You've got Joe Amster in 5th. You've got Darrell in 4th. Obviously, Ginger Tiger and Melonade, they're close between themselves in the driver standings. Stephen in 6th, 1 and 2 actually. Michael in 7th, Simon Palmer in the Williams car in 8th, Russman in 9th, JP in 10th, Speed Queen in 11th. That'll probably have to be checked by the admins because obviously she joined in late. Keza in 12th, Tinnis is in 13th, Susput 14th, Nigel Cash 15th, Smoke 16th, and Sav in 17th place. I feel for you, Keza. I really do feel for you, mate, because that is just, it's just really not fair. I will mention about it at the end of the interviews, but I let Tim do the honours each and every single week of the standings. But driver of the day has been gone to Tiger, Tim.
And also, Sunboy finished 2nd in the sprint race. Going to go ahead and correct myself. I was right the first time, but he is the winner of the Grand Prix. So, of course, we will go ahead and review the finishing order. So the finishing order for well, if we can actually get to it, this is a little bit of a different setup in your official finishing results for the Invictus Racing League's realistic perform. Oh my goodness, and I am so sorry, guys. I actually clicked off of the screen.
Oh, you haven't got the results?
No, I do not. I clicked off of the screen. So, my apologies, guys.
So I'll do the race quickly. I'll do the race quickly for you guys. So Sunboy is in first, Ginger Tiger second, Melonade third, Daryl in fourth, Joe Amston fifth, O'Stevens sixth, Michael Lute is in seventh, Simon Palmer eighth, Russman ninth, JP in 10th, Speed Queen 11th, Keza 12th, Tinus 13th, Spud 14th, Nigergash 15th, Smoke 16th, Saab 17th, Tarak 18th, and Tadelli in 19th. Tarak and Tadelli have both had the DNFs. And just a reminder for the guys on the sprint. Melonade got first, Sunboy second, Dowell in third, Tinus is in fourth, Keza fifth, Michael sixth, Suspud seventh, Tarak eighth, Ginger Tiger ninth, Russman 10th, JP 11th, Simon Palmer 12th, Joe Amster 13th, Sab 14th, O'Stephen 15th, Tadelli 16th, Smoke in 17th, and Nigel Cash in 18th place. Woo! Just in time with that. Fantastic stuff. But we're just going to get the drivers in, so bear with us a sec, guys, while we try and get the other drivers in of Melonade and I believe and Sunboy as well, if they're available as well.
Yeah, and thank you for picking up the tab on that, Malc. Of course, you're probably going to have to report me to the stewards after this for failure to commentate.
Oh, okay, no worries. Melonade cannot make the interviews. I'm sorry, I'll put you in the stewards after this, to be fair. Just sort out this, sort some stuff out, to be fair. I'm not sure what's happening now, to be fair. But here we go. We will have the drivers, I believe Sunboy and Ginger Tiger have both joined in. So, guys, before you say anything, do not say anything just yet. Make sure your loud voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. If you're not, while Sunboy and Ginger Tiger get themselves sorted and ready to go, we will have the interviews by Tim as quickly as possible, and then we'll hear our thoughts of the race itself. Reeds, thank you so much. I'll see you next week, mate. See you next week. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sunboy and Ginger Tiger, are you both set, ready to go?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so both set, ready to go. Tim, I'll let you do the honours of the interviews.
And we'll start with Sunboy in quite an interesting race from your perspective. Second in the sprint race, and you turn it into a win, but it didn't seem like it was an easy battle for you. Tell us about it.
Well, it was mostly a battle with Melonade, and I started on the hards, he started on the mediums, and yeah, it just turned out my way, and yeah, I'm happy with the result. Of course, I think it's many points, so yeah, I'm happy.
So, were you concerned when the safety car came out and knowing you were going to have to go onto the medium tires, because I anticipate that was a few laps earlier than what you had originally planned?
Yeah, it was a few laps too early, but my tire percentage at the end was 50%, so I was a little bit concerned, but yeah, it wasn't a problem at the end.
Well, congratulations, Sunboy. You are the victor here in the French Grand Prix.
Thank you.
And now we will talk to Ginger Tiger. So, Ginger Tiger, we really didn't talk much about you during the race until you were there at the end. But, you know, when it was all said and done, you find yourself with a podium finish. So, tell us, how were you able to put yourself in the position there at the end?
I have no idea. Somebody spun me on the first corner, so I went from 9th to last. And I just battled my way through because I started on the hards, and I couldn't get past O'Stephen because he was quicker than me on the straights. So I decided to pit a little early for the mediums, and as I entered the pits, the safety car came out. So I probably got a little bit of benefit from that. And then I battled my way through. And when I was behind Melonade and Keza, I knew they both had 3 seconds, so I was quite comfortable staying behind Melonade, but I just took the opportunity to pass him anyway when it came. And I was lucky with Keza. I think he lost his internet, and there was no catching Sunboy, so congratulations to Sunboy on Melonade.
Yeah, well, Ginger Tiger, all the same, I'm sure that you're happy for yourself as well.
Absolutely.
You know, but where we were talking a little bit during the race about how these cars have the real life performance, how much of a struggle was it to really drive the Haas around here today?
In all honesty, the Haas is a pretty good car all round. It hasn't got the top speed, but it's got good balance, so it makes it a little bit easier to drive. So, you just have to try and grab your moments when you can, when you catch some people, and try and keep them behind. It's just the top speed it lacks a little bit, but apart from that, it's a good all-round car to drive.
Well, all the same, congratulations, Ginger Tiger, on your
Okay.
podium finish. And with that, I guess that's all the time that we have. But of course, thank you everyone so much for watching. Thank you to all the drivers that race with us. Congratulations to our podium finishers. And, a big thank you to Malc for picking up the tab the last 2 weeks and also for giving us the rundown of the results because, well, I messed up. But all the same, this has been
Unbelievable.
I know, right, Malc? I know. But this
Oh, unbelievable.
but this has been the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Realistic Performance League, brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. And until next time, have fun and goodbye.
See you later, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.